add a guest. Oh, perfect. I'm live. Let me see if I can figure out this pinning thing. How do you pin a comment? Ah, there we go. Okay. Everything's push and hold. Okay. How are you doing? To all my digital peeps and beyond. So I have a video or live for you today. And usually I go live on my Facebook profile, but I'm going to do Instagram. I'm going to start hitting up Instagram a lot more just because why? I don't know. I like it more. I like Instagram and Facebook. Those two are my things. But I've been absent quite a bit. So I thought, you know what? Why not hit up and do my Instagram? So one of the reasons why I haven't been on, aside from the whole I'm going to say excuse of being busy, because I have been busy. I live in my SUV with my 4 kids and my husband and a dog. So I mean, it's the lifestyle is completely different, right? But it's basically everything I need to start building and growing on exactly my terms. So here is the title for today's post. The title of today's post is "Stop Giving Away Your Fuck Bucks," right? And if you've never heard of that before, I heard it on a TED Talk. And it was absolutely amazing. I loved it. I mean, the idea behind it is basically to watch where you spend your energy. I'm going to give you a perfect example. Okay, of course I forget. 1 second. Okay, here I'm back. I'm going to give you an example of a situation that happened today. I'm here, for those of you that don't know, we're traveling right now. I like to call it touring. We're touring the USA. We went from California up north, and we came back down and went across. And so we hit up, I think we went through New Mexico. We stopped and visited some family in Nevada and in Texas. And so that's where we kind of ended up, because Texas is freaking huge. And so now we're in the area of like Dallas, Texas. So anybody that wants to say hey or whatever, maybe we can do a meetup. That's cool. I'm totally down, especially at this stage in my life. But this is what happened. If a lot of you follow me, you know that one of my offices, or probably my main office, is Starbucks. I love going to different Starbucks to do my work and to get my creativity out. I love the environment. Most of the time, it's like 99.99% that I love it. There's very few Starbucks where I don't really like it, but anyways, beside the point. First tangent. Here's the thing. I went in, and usually most Starbucks have, restrooms where you can use. Because I usually stay, when I'm at Starbucks, anywhere from 1 to about 5 to 6 hours. If I'm lucky, if I'm really doing good, I have about a 4 to 6 hour time frame on there. So sometimes a girl gotta do what you gotta do. So I went to the Starbucks in the city of Dallas, and I asked the worker at Starbucks. I was like, hi, I was like, do you guys have a bathroom? And she was just kind of like, no. Like, she was just like, I was just completely like interrupting her, like, which is really weird because I'm the customer at Starbucks and she's the service provider basically. And so I was like, hi. Ooh, the Successful Diva. Love that name. Awesome. Hi. So I was just like, okay, cool. And then so I was like, well, I turned around, I went, and I'm going to tell you, normally the old me would have been like, you got an effing problem? Like, do you hate your job or whatever? I would just think of all these crazy, really kind of things to chop somebody down, because I'm like, how dare you treat me like that? I used to be bullied, so I kind of have that syndrome and mentality from being bullied. I always kind of felt like, not anymore, but I always felt like I had to defend myself and like let people know, you can't do that to me. Like, I'm not gonna let you stomp on me or whatever. So anyways, so I turned around, left, and then so I was like, I'm gonna ask somebody else, maybe somebody else. Oh, so no, then I asked her, so okay, well, do you know where there's one available? And she's like, no. I was like, okay. So I was like, I turned around, walked away. I was like, well, that's fine. So I went back. I was like, I know, I'll think of another idea, another solution. So I went back and I asked somebody else, because there was like 4 or 5 workers behind there working. So I was like, I'll just ask somebody else. Maybe somebody else does know. Maybe she, sometimes one person doesn't know what the next person knows. So I never limit myself to just what one person knows and say, oh, well, okay, that's the end all be all. And that is one of my sayings. Never let anything or anyone be the, end all be all of what you need to do. So anyways, a little bit of a gold nugget. So I went to this lady, and I asked her the same thing, and she was like, no. And I was like, okay. I was like, because we're kind of in a complex. I was like, well, there's no like restrooms out there. And she like looked at me like, again, I was irritating her. And so she kind of repeated it. You know how like sometimes, I don't know, like if you ever hear a parent or somebody talk to a child when you say something, and then the child kind of like asks again, and then you're like, listen, I already said So that's how she kind of responded to me. And okay, at this point I'm getting really irritated, so I'm like, you know what, I was like, I'm a freaking customer here. I'm asking her as politely and gently as possible. It isn't working out. I mean, I was like, and it's still the old me kind of was just like trying to like really get to me. My ego was really trying to get to me, and I was like, why am I even like wasting my time on this? Like, okay, I'll deal with it when I have to use the restroom, right? But here's the point. A lot of you guys out here, or I don't like to pinpoint you guys, but a lot of people, right, have this crazy idea mentality that I used to have, which is like, I have to defend myself. I have to stand up to people. I need to tell, people off and fight that fight. And, I was talking to my husband about this within the, last couple of days. Like, you have to be mindful of all the battles that you're trying to fight in this world. Like, he tries to pick a fight with our kids, like, every second of the day. Everything that our kids kind of want to do that's different from what we want them to do, he's ready there. He's standing there ready to fight. And I'm like, you can't do that. You cannot give your fuck bucks for every little fight that's out there. Every single battle does not need to be fought, basically. Like, focus on the war here. Focus on the bigger task here. And so that's what I remembered, and I was like, okay, I don't need to even feel like this. And I caught it. I was like aware of it. I was like, okay, what do I need to do to flip this around? Because I'm really kind of feeling like really jacked up. Like, I came in all pumped, ready to do my work, ready to do this video, and which took me a couple hours because I was like, no, I'm going to do some work first after that incident happened. And I was just like really irritated. I was like, man, are people just completely like rude, and I kind of almost let myself go there. And that's another thing. If you allow yourself to go down that rabbit hole, you will be amazed at the stories your mind makes up, at the things and places that your mind will take you. It'll go from one thing like that to like freaking, I don't know, aliens invading the world, like whatever. The point is, when you allow yourself to go into that negative kind of like, oh, the world is just jacked up state of mind, you are going to only do damage to yourself, not to that other person. You guys may get in a fight or whatever, and then what? Who wins? Nobody wins. You've exhausted your energy. And that's really the point of this, is be mindful of where you spend those fuck bucks, Don't just spend it on every single fight in your life that comes your way. Not everything needs to be addressed. Not everything needs to be, well, I guess I'll just stick with that word. There's another word I wanted to use. It wasn't addressed. But not everything needs to be, oh, I hate that. Whatever. You get the idea. It doesn't need to be dealt with, if you understand what I'm saying. Go to somebody else, move to somebody else, step away from him a little bit, get perspective. My perspective was, I told my husband, right? I kind of told him, like, man, like, they're kind of being a little rude here. I'm not sure if I should stick around. And I was like, and he's like, well, do you want me to pick you up? Because usually he'll drop me off to work. He'll go take the kids to the park, and then I'll do my thing. And I'm just like, no, you know what? I'm not going to do that because, like, number one, well, there's two things. Number one, I'm not going to spend or waste my energy. I don't run scared from things or people, like, not like I used to. And at the same time, I don't handle things or people like I used to either. And the second thing is, I'm on this side of the freaking, what is it? I called it the counter, and not to be disrespectful or like put anybody down. But my point was this: her world goes as far as that box behind there. And, I always say, like, if you're not in a place that makes you happy, that makes you joyful, where you have to kind of like filter out and like put your shit onto other people, you probably should rethink what you're doing with your life, right? Because she chose to take this job on. I didn't tell her, I didn't make her, but for whatever reason is going on, she had to project whatever was going through her and her irritability for me asking her a question, right? And so anyways, the point was this, is, like, I had to step back and say, I don't really need to prove or do anything. I'm over here on the side for me of freedom. I'm not the worker there. Like, I can leave and go as I please. She's stuck there. So I had to look at it from her side and say, well, I don't know, maybe she gets a lot of crazies that ask her for the bathroom. Maybe she gets asked this 20 times a day and she's irritated, and I just happen to be the one that she let loose on. Like, I don't know. But the point is, don't give somebody else your power, and watch where you spend your energy, okay? Because it can break you down. It will leave you on the floor if you let it, and it will just keep going and going and going and going. So let me see. I see some people. Mike. Wait a minute. I hope it's not the same one, because I'm gonna have to remove you. Phoenix, yay! Bliss McShow. Woohoo! And the successful diva. Cool. Okay. So yeah, so hopefully that helps, you know, some of you out there, especially for those of you that weren't on the live. There was like one person, which is cool. I know I need to do more of these so I can get the KLT factor out there. I know I haven't been on as much as often as I need to be. That's okay. I'm going to work it out. Another reason is I wanted to speak on something else, but I'll kind of just go into that. Here's another thing I wanted to get into real quickly. Has nothing to do with the title of spending your fuck bucks or your energy where it's not needed. But you know, don't be so against allowing people to see all of you. You know, I said this, I mentioned this before in another video, that if you have a message and you have something that's really inside you that you need to get out, don't keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, because life is happening, and you know, there's been like, I think the last 3 or 4 videos, you know, my lifestyle consists of me having to really utilize my time in a specific manner, and I have to be real intentional with that. And for example, I'm in here in my workout. I don't know if you can see, but I'm in my workout here. I was supposed to work out. It didn't work out that way. And I was just like, you know what? I got to get to work. I got to get on this thing. But it was okay. I was okay with that. I didn't feel like I had to get to work out and, oh, now the rest of my day is going to be messed up. You have to be flexible too. I think I'm going to do another video on that, or another live, about being flexible and what that means. A lot of people think it means this one particular thing, and it doesn't. But the point of it was, you got to be flexible too and learn to go with it, and you know, put yourself out there, because before you know it, I mean, it's going to be a whole month, maybe not, it'll be a whole month before, you know, I maybe get to put on that makeup or whatever, and then my message, and by then the passion's gone, the fire's gone, the flare of it is gone, maybe all the ideas I had behind what I wanted to talk about is gone. So for those of you out there that really want to share something, that are like in, you know, like either the coaching or want to get into the coaching or whatever, that's not really my audience that I'm going for. But I know a lot of people, coaches, kind of follow other coaches, and then, you know, we all have our blocks, right? But just don't let it do that to you, you know. And it doesn't even matter if you're a coach or not, whatever you're trying to do for this world, in this world, get to doing it, okay? Because your life is your life, and that's your lifestyle, and you can change it whenever you want. So, but don't let all this, you know, stop you from what you need to do, okay? So I love you guys. Thank you all for that came on and just chilling with me. Let me see. So why is this so small? Like the little hold on, Sue Jiggles. Hope I said that right. It looks like it's a Giggles. Sue Jiggles. Hey. Okay. So like I said, I love you guys. You know, y'all be a free spirit, have a brave heart. I will catch you guys on the next live. I'm gonna do more lives. Okay, bye. And of course it's gonna take me a second to end it. Oh, duh, end. Okay. They should make that red. Bye, people.